Good morning. This is BizCoachBen, Pure Value Business Coaching and Consulting, coming to you right after the presidential inauguration, which I was blessed to be able to watch, and for the first time in many presidencies. So I wanted to use this as a lead-in to our topic of today, as uh, President Donald Trump comes in now with what has been labeled a polarized country. He only has a 40% approval rating. That's the lowest of any president since the polls began. And he came with what I saw was a prototypical boardroom speech. I mean, this is exactly the kind of leader that we're going to see in the future. So, and it's the kind of leader that we can learn from in our personal and professional lives because of the way he handled his speech today, which was like none other in my lifetime. Uh, so we're going to break it down a little bit in terms of exactly what that was. What we saw today was him outlining the strategy of what his presidency is going to be all about. And it started with, when you break it down and you look at it, a clear understanding of what the values he's going to bring to as the President of the United States. Those values include, he values action over words. That theme came through over and over again. His belief in God, his strategy of looking forward, not back, always looking forward, always trying to mobilize and move the bar up. Accountability. In this speech, he held Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, accountable and made it very clear that he was not going to tolerate lack of action. And finally, leadership. The moment we saw him, there was a determination on his presence. You looked at his face. He was very resolved, and you could see it throughout his speech. He knew clearly what it was, the mission that he wanted to accomplish, the vision that he has, and we're going to talk about that. So when we're in our leaderships of our daily lives, whether it's at the personal or professional level, we need to be clear with our values. It all starts with understanding those core values that we're going to bring to the table that mean everything. And a core value is something you stand for, you'll fight for, you might even die for it. And that is foundational in any kind of strategy that we put together. When we look at what the vision was, it was really clear. It came right out of his populist speeches from the past. He's going to put Americans back to work. Everything that he does has that particular vision in mind, to put Americans back to work. And the purpose was also very clear, that he wants to build America back to being the #1 nation in the world. Make America #1 again. So his mission, we're going to talk about it. The mission is how. The purpose is why. The vision is what. So we're going to talk about how in just a moment. Let's take a look at some of the quotes that came out of that speech that kind of revolve around what that mission is going to be. First of all, he stated this quote, giving power back to the people. He wants to take it out of Congress. He wants to take it out of the state level. All the legislatures out there, all the politicians, he wants to focus on giving the power back to the people. This is a very righteous kind of a vision and difficult to accomplish, we all know. He said that right now everything changes. In fact, his quote was, "It all changes right here, right now. This is your day." And he's talking to the American people. To even further alliterate that, another quote, "The American carnage stops right here, right now." What he was talking about is the lack of employment, the lack of jobs, the building of a strong workforce, where a strong educational system. These were all things that came out in his speech. The clear vision was also spelled out with this quote: "A new decree, only America first." So every decision that he's going to make is going to be based upon that decree, and he's hoping to push that forward into our federal legislature, our Congress, and our Senate, to put it forward into the Supreme Court, and not just at the federal level, but at the state, city, county levels as well. And his theme that goes with that is Buy American, Hire American. So he's going to try to force laws into place that go along with that theme of Buy American and Hire American. So what are some of the initiatives that he's talking about? And I'm blown away by his focus and his center of thoughts. He's actually talking about putting some executive orders in this very day. We'll see, but certainly by next week, Monday through Friday, a number of executive orders will come down, and some of those will be to put some things in place, and others to remove some executive orders that currently are in place. And what's the center of those? This is the mission that I talked about. The mission is, how is he going to do it? Well, first of all, he wants to renegotiate trade deals. Those that are not favorable for bringing American jobs and putting jobs here in the United States. He wants to appeal parts of Obamacare. So he feels that parts of Obamacare are not conducive to a working America. And that's kind of the thing, working America. He's going to try and reduce and deregulate some of the energy laws that are out there today. He wants less restrictions on the production of shale energy and clean coal. He believes that that's going to both bring jobs and reduce energy costs. And it's been discussed and debated now for at least 10 or 15 years, very clearly in the press, almost weekly. He's going to try and incentivize small business. Now, this is where I get really encouraged. All you should be encouraged. Small and medium businesses are just burdened with taxes, burdened with rules and regulations. If he can reduce those taxes, reduce some of those rules and regulations, that's going to help put America back to work. Clearly, what we know is that 80% of all jobs are in small and medium businesses. So if you want to get people back to work, that's the place to attack. He knows it clearly, and that's where he's going. But he also didn't forget about the big factories, and he talked about the rusted down, abandoned factories. What he's going to do there, we're not clear yet, but there is much opportunity in terms of major manufacturing in the United States, which has fallen basically to nothing. 2% of all jobs now are in the manufacturing area. The opportunity is enormous. So he's looking at both extremes, where we've fallen off the track completely and where a great opportunity exists. So we look at that in those areas. He also took a thought about the solidarity of America, and he addressed that there's no room for prejudice. And this is a very admirable trait, something that a great leader, a president, needs to be able to demonstrate day in, day out, and hopefully predominate this throughout all of our governmental entities. And he ended by stating this: "Hear my words to all America. You will never be ignored again. You will never be ignored again." So he's going to be listening. We'll see if the words of America come forward, and if he assimilates them properly. He clearly has an idea of what he wants to do and how he's going to do it. He's truly not a president like we've seen in the past that's aligned with his party 100%. He's going to have a lot of work to do. And that comes in with the second part of this, which is delegation. So we talked about a couple of days ago, building a team, while the next part of that is the ability to delegate and empower those that you put in position. He's also going to have to be a strong negotiator. And at times, we know for a fact, he's not going to be able to get everything he wants, but he's going to have the ability to negotiate and get the majority of what he thinks is right, and to move his mission and his vision forward. I'm going to end this by saying that when we look at it, it's right out of the boardroom and right into the presidency. We're all presidents of our own lives. We're all presidents of our own companies, our own organizations, and our own jobs. We're all independent contractors, and we're all presidents. Let's use this lesson in leadership, in our own personal lives and professional lives. I hope this has resonated with you from the angle that I'm looking at it, and look forward to hearing your comments, your likes, whatever you have to say. Please post them on my YouTube channel. That's Pure Value Business Coaching and Consulting. Facebook and Twitter, BizCoachBen. On LinkedIn, Ben Humphrey. And you can also book an appointment on Calendly. The link is right there on Facebook. So that's B Pumphrey, B as in boy, Pumphrey, on Calendly. Love to hear from you, love to talk to you. If you want some help with building a strategy, that's one of the things that I believe is my strength as well. Led a number of organizations throughout my career, and I work with business owners and not-for-profits on that day in, day out. Thank you very much. Have a great day. And we look forward to seeing how this all plays out with our new president.